Welcome to the show, everybody. It's the Crypto Lark. Today we're going to be talking about WanChain. This is the all-in-one global financial platform put on the blockchain, digital assets, digital economy, financial infrastructure, private, cross-chain, smart contracts. Oh my goodness, so many exciting words there. It's crazy. Of course, this has been getting a lot of hype as well recently, so we'll be trying to break down just what WanChain is, as well as going over some of the potential concerns and maybe some thoughts about price predictions for the future of WanChain. But after a quick shout out to everyone who's been hitting that like button, and of course everyone who's been subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit that button down below to stay up to date with all of the latest in the crypto space. Furthermore, this is of course not professional financial advice. This is just a dude talking about cryptocurrencies on the internet. Let's get into it, guys. Now, WanChain is a very exciting project. The mainnet's already live, actually, but it is not currently being traded, much to the dismay of investors who have been patiently, and very impatiently some of them, waiting for this to hit exchanges. Now, WanChain is a fork of Ethereum, but is using Monero's ring signatures. Yes, it is also a privacy-focused coin. Yes, we have private sends. Yes, we have one-time addresses. Very interesting. Now, some potential applications for WanChain: decentralized exchanges, for example, asset management tools, and of course, an ICO platform. We're going to be getting into all that, though, a little bit more here in a minute. One of the big focuses for WanChain: interoperability. Essentially, what we have right now in the blockchain space, lots of different blockchains, essentially lots of different disconnected islands. But what we need is bridges between those islands to make a community. Essentially, they want to be a low-cost inter-ledger asset transfer. Very interesting. They also want to bring forward cross-chain smart contracts, which means cross-chain dApps. Well, that's very interesting. Also, any Ethereum dApp will run on WanChain, because remember, they forked the Ethereum code. You will have no code change necessary to run your Ethereum-based dApp on WanChain. You can just do it. Pretty interesting. They, of course, will be also doing ICOs. These will be privacy-enabled ICOs. Interesting. And they'll, of course, be focusing on not just utility tokens, but really looking forward for other possibilities for financial infrastructure. So offering securities as a normal thing, offering asset issuance as well. Now, the WAN coin is going to be used for settlements within the network, of course, paying the nodes. It will also be used as a security deposit for cross-chain verification nodes. Interesting. This will be a proof of stake model. We will see master nodes on WanChain, but we don't have very many details about that yet at all, except that there will hopefully be master nodes at some point. But nevertheless, that is something to keep an eye out for coming. Having a look at the team, we've got some really great players involved here. Jack Liu, for example, is a co-founder of Factum. Very cool. We have Dustin here. He's a veteran in the blockchain space. Bitcoin College. He co-founded Tendermint. That's huge as well. He's also been working with different venture capital too. And as you go down the team here, you just see all these guys with excellent experience. Senior developer of Ethereum. Excellent. Years and years and years of blockchain and development experience. So a lot of really, really great people involved in this project. Not to mention, of course, that the team is big, which is fantastic. Looking at the advisory team, again, a lot of good players here. North American Blockchain Association, for example, River Capital Partner. more people from Factom involved as well. So a lot of people backing the WanChain project. Definitely a very high level in that regard. Now, looking at the roadmap over the next year, what we can expect. WanChain 2.0 integration with Ethereum. So that'll be that interchain operability where we'll see going on. A multi-coin wallet. Now we already have the first iteration of the WanCoin wallet. We'll see that being multi-coin in the future, of course, integrating with Ethereum, amongst others. And they've got some very exciting partnerships. We're going to talk about that in a second. WanChain 3.0, integration with Bitcoin. Of course, multi-coin wallet focusing on it, bringing in more coins. And WanChain 4.0, integration with private chains. Interesting times. The guys at WanChain have been nailing some awesome partnerships already. They've teamed up with the guys over at Kyber Network to help provide liquidity. They have also teamed up with Icon and Aeon. Wowzers! Of course, that is part of the Blockchain Interoperability Alliance. Very exciting partnerships. Obviously, we want to see some more big partners coming in. They've done very well so far. But let's see some big business partners coming in the future. I'm sure those partnership announcements will be forthcoming. One thing you may want to think about, how are they going to onboard clients? What is the marketing plan to get their message out? They say, okay, digital economy will be the economy, and I agree with that. But there is a lot of people already in this space. What is going to be WanChain's edge, marketing-wise, to get their message out to all these relevant players? Of course, we have to consider scaling issues. They have forked Ethereum's code, therefore they have inherited some of the problems of Ethereum. Even though this is a proof of stake coin, we still have to think about how are we going to scale that. Now look, Ethereum is working on that. There are a lot of clever people who are working on sharding and plasma and RAID and all these different iterations of scaling. So they're watching Ethereum to see what they're going to do. Maybe we want to think about competition. Well, probably the most relevant competition is Fusion. The guys over at Fusion are creating a rather similar product to WanChain, but it's less hyped, to be honest. But they've also got a rock solid team, by the way, over here at Fusion. That being said, there is so much space in this arena for multiple players. It's not a zero-sums game. Everybody is working together to find the solutions to help deliver us to the economy of the future. That's why you see projects like Icon and Aeon and WanChain all working together. They could all be enemies, but they're not. They're working together because they realize this is more than any one company can do. It is a massive project of unimaginable scale, and they're all working on trying to solve it together. Now, the one thing that's interesting with WanChain is the slow release of tokens. Now, this was an ERC20 token for quite a while that was not supposed to be traded on EtherDelta. Some people traded on EtherDelta. That's a different mess that we're not going to get into. But the mainnet token swap is largely completed. I think around 83 or 84% of the tokens have now been swapped over. So now comes the exchange listing, and it's going to happen very soon. One thing I did want to discuss, though, is listing FOMO. There is huge hype around WanChain. Huge. Some people are saying, oh, this is going to hit the exchanges at $10. I don't think so. The ICO price was about 34 cents. One Ethereum bought 880 WanChain. Based on today's current prices, if you wanted to have your same value in Ethereum, they'd be about $1 a piece. Will we see a $2 WanChain when it hits the exchanges? Quite possibly. I wouldn't be surprised by a $2 WanChain at all. A $3 one? Maybe. Will it pump? Will it pump in those first hours? Will we see a $5 or $6 or $7 WanChain? It's possible. And this is why I say it's so important to watch out for listing FOMO. This is a process that repeats itself. Super hyped projects hit the exchange. People pay a premium for them. And then a week or two later, the hype dies down. The prices die down. And that's it. The project will continue, and it will build over time. You look at Cardano, for example, it was listed. We had a couple very small runs in it, but no big hype was built around Cardano in the same way. But it never really dipped significantly. It went from 3 cents to 2 cents. Not a significant dip. And of course, then it took off big time. I would say if you get WanChain for anywhere under $5, you're doing pretty okay. There's 107 million supply. There'll be about 220 million for the total supply. That's not bad at all. We're going to compare it to some other numbers just to give us some potential price ideas for WanChain. Ethereum Classic. Now, Ethereum Classic, $3.8 billion market cap. That's not small. Certainly significant enough. If WanChain could ever reach such levels, and with the hype behind the project and the great ideas behind the project, smart contracts, interoperable across chains with privacy features, really ticks a lot of the boxes without a doubt. That would mean approximately a $38 WanChain. Question is, do you think it is as good as Ethereum Classic? I think the answer is yes. The real question, though, is can it be a competitor to its code forking daddy, Ethereum? If it were to ever reach these kind of levels market cap wise, well, of course, you would then see approximately an $800, let's say, WanChain. So that's something to keep in mind if you do succumb to the FOMO in the early hours of WanChain trading and buy it for $5 and then next week it goes down to $2, for example. That might not happen. History may prove wrong. It may just shoot into the moon. But if that happens, just try to keep the long game in mind here, guys, without a doubt. Anyway, those are just my thoughts, though. I want to know from you guys, what do you think about WanChain? What do you think about when it will hit exchanges? Do you think there's going to be some real serious FOMO and some big price spikes? Do you think the price will die down after 2 weeks? Let me know about it in the comment section down below. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.